Hello students, today we are going to look at the agriculture sector. We will look at the pattern and structure of growth. So how agriculture sector grew over the years and what were the changes introduced by the government over the years so that the growth of agriculture sector can be boosted. The Green Revolution. The Green Revolution was started during the fourth five-year plan. In the Green Revolution, the high-yielding variety seeds, also known as HYV seeds, were introduced in agriculture sector. Increased use of fertilizers and irrigations was focused on, and all of them collectively are known as Green Revolution. So Green Revolution is when HYV seeds are used, fertilizers usage is there, irrigation practices are used, etc. So we call it as a Green Revolution, because it led to an increase in production which was needed to make India a self-sufficient in food grain. And today, if you look at the storage of food grains by the Food Corporation of India, there is excess of food grain storage than required. Thus, this indicates that India is self-sufficient in food grains. The food grain output, because of Green Revolution, increased rapidly from 81 million tons in the third five-year plan to 202 million tons in the 10th five-year plan. Thus, an enormous increase in food grain was experienced, which was able to cater the needs of the rising population and to make country the self-sufficient in food grains. All of this led to rapid increase in productivity, continued expansion of farming areas, but certain negative impacts were also witnessed because of the Green Revolution. These impacts were not witnessed immediately, but they emerged after certain time lag or after certain years. These were the negative impact of environment and health due to negative impact on environment and health due to excessive use of fertilizers and pesticides, because we have seen that the negative impact of chemical fertilizers and pesticides on health and how it impact the flora and fauna around us. Here you can also relate this with the GM crops, the genetically modified crops, and why the government is hesitant and they're not allowing to go for food crops, especially the BT, brinjal, etc., because of the various adverse impact which can happen not immediately but after certain years on health. Second was depletion of soil nutrients, because excessive use of fertilizer and pesticides led to decline in soil fertility. Third was depletion of water resources like groundwater, etc., and high cost of inputs. Depletion of water resources and excessive use of irrigation also led to problem of soil salinity, because there were areas where a particular crop was not suitable, but because of irrigational facilities such crops were grown, and excessive usage of irrigational facilities in that area led to soil salinity and problem of water logging. So this was the negative impact of Green Revolution and how the Green Revolution was started. What were the advantages? The second is Tricolor Revolution. Now this revolution is a recent one. So it has three parts. One is Saffron Energy Revolution, White Revolution and Blue Revolution. In the Saffron Energy Revolution, the aim is promotion and better utilization of solar energy in the farm sector, because we know that the aim of the government is now to focus on agriculture sustainability. Second was White Revolution, to ensure cattle welfare and to further the goals of White Revolution, which are to increase farmers' income from allied sector, etc. Third is Blue Revolution. The third component is Blue Revolution, which focuses on fishermen's welfare, cleaning the river and sea, and conserving the water resources. This is a recent revolution actually. Other thing is about the Evergreen Revolution. The Evergreen Revolution is nothing but it is a revolution which focuses on farm sustainability or agriculture sustainability. This was given by M.S. Swaminathan, the agricultural scientist, and you might have heard about the Swaminathan report, which is related to agriculture sector. It emphasizes on organic agriculture and green agriculture with the help of integrated pest management, integrated nutrient supply, and integrated national resource management. Thus, as I said, Evergreen Revolution focused on soil sustainability or agriculture sustainability, and for the sustainability or sustainable agriculture, we need organic agriculture, because in organic agriculture, we do not use chemicals. The core of the Evergreen Agriculture Revolution is to promote sustainability in the farm sector and to reduce or to eliminate the problems which have arose because of excessive use of fertilizers and chemical pesticides. Now comes the new agriculture policy, which was launched by the government in 2000s. It was implemented at national level. This new agriculture policy gave emphasis on livestock, animal husbandry, dairy and aquaculture, so that the income from the allied sector can be boosted and farmers can have an alternate source of income. The aim was also to ensure and achieve food and nutritional security in the country. And for this, there are two programs. One is Poshan Abhiyan and National Food Security Act, which are going under Poshan Abhiyan. Stress is given on nutrient intake, and under National Food Security Act, subsidized food grains are provided to Antyodaya Ann Yojana card holders and the BPL as well as the APL card holders. Then comes the minimum support price under the MSP schemes. The crops are procured from the farmers, so direct procurement of food grains takes place by the Food Corporation of India, by the state government at the adequate prices. So the aim is to ensure that farmer gets the adequate prices or farmer gets the right prices. So food procurement takes place at the minimum support price, also known as MSP. Then increasing public expenditure in rural infrastructure like electrification, roadways, irrigation, storage facilities, because these infrastructural development will address the bottlenecks which were there, which were hampering the growth of the agriculture sector. Irrigation will lead to expansion in agricultural practices. Then storage facilities will ensure that distress sales are coming down and post-harvest losses are also reducing, because post-harvest losses stands at 95,000 crore. Electrification will ensure that regular supply of electricity. Roadways will ensure that better connectivity between rural areas and semi as well as urban areas. The other thing was to provide crop insurance facility, and for this National Agriculture Crop Insurance Scheme was launched, and later on it was replaced with Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. Now, as I said, that government was focusing on ensuring that allied sector provides certain income. So one of the aim was create off-farm activities and promote allied sector, so that during off-farm sector or during lean season, farmer gets certain income. This will impact the rise in farm. This will impact the farmers' income, because this will augment income in the off-farm sector, and farmers will get an additional source of income through animal husbandry, livestock, etc. And the other thing was to allow private sector participation in the rural areas, especially in the agriculture sector, so as to eliminate certain structural issues. These structural issues are like the transportation issues, the storage facilities issues. And if you have seen my previous video, I have said that government is now focused, government has actually started the private sector participation. It has allowed the private parties to build storage facilities, and the Food Corporation of India has also agreed to take these storage facilities which are created by private sector to take on lease. Thus, government is trying to allow private sector participation and trying to blostering that, so that structural issues in the agriculture sector can be removed and agriculture sector growth can be boosted. Then comes farmer producer organization. The FPO aim is also to ensure that farmer gets right prices. So the Cabinet Committee recently gave approval, Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs CCEA gave approval for setting 10,000 farmer producer organizations in 5 years, spanning from a time period of 2019 to 2023. So what is an FPO? FPO is a group formed by primary producers like farmers, milk producers, fishermen, rural artisans, etc. And this group is a legalized form of institution which is owned by the farmers. It is registered under Companies Act, thus it's a legal body. The aim of the FPO is to ensure that farmer gets a collective strength. So FPO ensure that farmers have a collective strength. So in a typical FPO, the membership range from 100 to 400. So the group of farmers come together. Now their food grains, whether they are in small amount or in a large amount, when the food grains are collected, the quantity increases and they get a collective strength, which ensure that they get better marketing access. This also ensures that economies of scale is there, and thus a better realization of income takes place because farmers' bargaining power increases. Apart from that, FPO also ensures that farmer get better access to quality input, technology, credit, etc. The beneficiaries of the FPO scheme are the small and marginal farmers because their produce is very less. But when they form a group, they produce, the quantity increases and they get a better bargaining power. Because the small and marginal farmers do not have an economic strength to apply production technology, services, and marketing, including value addition. But when an FPO is formed, when farmers come together as a group, this becomes profitable. The Mega Food Park Scheme. The Mega Food Park Scheme got impetus post 2000 because post 2007, government focused on value addition in the agriculture sector and the food processing sector. Thus, the focus was given on food processing sector, and Mega Food Park Scheme was launched in the year 2008. Now, this was launched because the annual post-harvest losses in the agriculture sector stood at 92,651 crore, and presently it is around 95,000 crore. Thus, the annual losses stands at around 6 to 7% of the total food production in the country. Now, if this 92,651 crore loss, if it is properly channelized, then it will bring to greater realization of the income in the agriculture sector, and that's why the scheme was launched. Presently, the food processing sector is one of the major employer because it employs close to 7 million people, more than 7 million people, and has created lakhs of indirect jobs as well. Presently, 13 major mega food parks are operational at various stages because there are certain issues which are coming, like land acquisition problem. You should remember that in the mega food park, private participation is also allowed. Thus, a private party can also open the mega food park, and government provides certain incentives. The objectives of the mega food parks were to provide state-of-art infrastructure for food processing in the country on a pre-identified cluster, to ensure value addition and to connect rural areas with the global supply and value chain, to establish sustainable raw material supply chain for each cluster, to facilitate introduction and induction of latest technology in the farm sector, to ensure quality assurance through better process control and capacity. In order to understand about mega food park, you should remember what are mega food park. So mega food parks, so it is like a factory where farmers come up with their food grains. The seller purchase the food grain and then process that food grain in the rural area itself. So mega food parks are usually set up in the tier 2, tier 3 cities. Also, and the mega food parks connects the rural area with the urban areas. So mega food parks actually acts as value addition parks, which adds value to the agriculture products. Presently, 8 mega food parks are operational, whereas the rest are in the implementation stage. Example, Avanti Mega Food Park or Srini Mega Food Park, all of them are in the operational stages. And the scheme of Mega Food Park is under Ministry of Food Processing. You should remember, because many a times MCQ questions come like the scheme of Mega Food Park is implemented by which ministry. So you have to remember that this is implemented by Ministry of Food Processing, Government of India. Few practice questions. First is, which agency is responsible for procurement, distribution and storage of food grains which are produced in India? Here the correct is Food Corporation of India, which was set up in 1965. Second is, the main components of Evergreen Revolution are. Here all the options are right because Evergreen Revolution is about sustainable agriculture. Now all the three options aim at sustainable agriculture, like upgradation of soil health, promoting lab to land demonstration, promoting rainwater harvesting. So the correct will be option A. The third question is, which of the following statement is not correct? Here option B is not correct because option B is saying that India is the biggest producer of vegetables in the world. No, India is second biggest producer. Okay, India is second largest, not the first largest. That's why option B will be wrong, where the rest are right. So India is second largest producer of fruits and vegetables in the world. Question 4th, who implements the scheme who implements mega food park scheme? Here the correct will be option B or option second, which is Ministry of Food Processing and Industry. I've already stated in the video that the mega food park scheme is implemented by Ministry of Food Processing and Industry. Here option 1 and 3 will be wrong. Option 4th will be wrong because Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs recommends the MSP etc. So Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs is not a ministry. Okay, it is a cabinet committee which is headed by Prime Minister. Ministry of Consumer Affairs and Public Distribution has no role to play in mega food park scheme. Similarly, no role is there of Ministry of Agriculture. So thank you, and so we are done with the agriculture sector, how agriculture sector grew over the years and what were the policies which were launched over the years. Thank you.